Hello, welcome to the channel and thanks for joining me. So today we're going to take a quick look at this Galaxy Twinvader from CGL from the 1980s, and it's a pretty cool looking thing, I've got to say. I mean, I'm not sure why we need all these extra sort of angles and platforms and stuff like that, but it looks like a kind of metroplex, doesn't it? Like an old cityscape or something. It's pretty cool, quite a formidable looking thing. It's a bit grimy, it's a bit sort of discoloured. We might be able to polish some of that back up later on, but fundamentally it's not in bad shape. The screen's pretty good, not too badly scratched, and everything seems to be present on the top side. However, it is missing its battery cover. I don't know if that's specific to this model or whether a similar kind of epoch type one might fit. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, that's a problem for another time. The main issue with this one is that the joystick doesn't work, and it doesn't sound very healthy at all, to be honest. It's kind of graunching in there, which isn't a good sign. So let's just try it out and see what actually happens. So I'm going to put some batteries in now. Incidentally, this does take a 6-volt DC power supply there, and it's one of those that's got the little jack plug power supplies, and I do have one of those, and I'm guessing a bit like Caveman, Astro Wars, Munchman, all that sort of stuff, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a negative earth 6 volts DC, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to chance that right now. We'll figure that out when we're inside, but for now we'll just put some batteries in. Now these things do have a habit of making a bid for freedom, so I'm going to try and hold these batteries in whilst we demonstrate the issue. So we'll turn it on. No, we won't, because I think oh no, it is working. I wonder if I'd put the batteries in the wrong way then. So there we go. So reset and start. There we go. All right, so you can see that it's working okay. But the left and right, you can see he's dying straight away because the joystick isn't working. Nothing's happening at all on that. So yeah, it's not good, not good. Yeah, it's going to be a strip down and hope for the best. Now I'm hoping, whatever the issue is, that we'll be able to repair this, because replacement won't be an option. There's just not many of these around at all, and it'd be fun to try and repair this, but obviously the whole point of buying another one just to find a replacement part to fix this one is a bit silly, so hopefully we'll be all right. Okay, so let's get this on the towel of destiny and see what happens then, shall we? So here we go. Always put it on the towel just to stop it from getting any scratches and stuff like that. So we have got a series of screws around the outside, which I'll go and get out now. And that makes 2, 4, 6, 8 screws, all the same length, same pitch, so that's nice and easy. Good stuff. Right, okay, so next stage then, open this up, and I'm not sure which way this goes. I've never had one of these open before, so okay, so right, okay, well, initial inspection is there's nothing obviously wrong with this. It's just a bit dirty and dusty in there, so what I'm going to do is just quickly clean the worst of the detritus out of here and reframe so we can see what's going on. Just before we get the joystick assembly apart, we did say we were going to look at the polarity of the power supply, didn't we? So I've got one of the old-fashioned multi-adapters here. Now, it's not plugged in. I just want to stress that, because obviously we don't want to put the voltage in the wrong way, as it were. It's the whole point of finding out the orientation and polarity for this. So it's the mini jack, and we'll just put that mini jack into there now. And with the continuity test, what we'll be able to do is just confirm whether it's positive or negative tip. So if we just put the put one on the barrel, there we go, we've got negative, And we can also do the same, because these are all, this four-way junction of course is all the same anyway. We can actually put a terminal probe inside the barrel, and we should find, if it's plugged in all of the way, like I say, this one's quite deep set, we should find continuity. There we go, with the positive. Another way of testing it, of course, even easier than that, is by leaving it plugged in there into the actual receptacle, and we can do the sheath there onto the earth on the board, and then this is the positive on the board, which is inside. So it's definitely a positive tip. So at least that was worth confirming while we were here. Whoops, there's my continuity left on. There we go then, good stuff. So it's positive tip 6 volts. Okay, next stage then is to get the joystick assembly out. So there's 4 screws. So the 4 screws are out. They are the same as each other, so that's nice and simple. Very similar to an Astro Wars type game here, because we've got the piezo speaker on one side, but then we've got the main board with the chip, which is just in there. The VFD display is mounted on the other side. Then there's like a daughter board that's got the switches and stuff on, and then we've got the second board here, the second small board, which has got the joystick. Now, I've recently restored an Astro Wars that had a couple of issues with it, and one of which was actually the ribbon cable was detached slightly from on here. I can see this is a little bit, yeah, a little bit dirty, but not the end of the world. Although the carbon contacts in here look a bit dirty as well. What I'm just going to do is put a Sharpie on the top surface there, little line. I don't know if I need to or not, but I want to make sure the orientation's right when this all goes back together. So I think we need to probably clean these contacts. That would be a good start. You can see definite corrosion, or at least some patina on the 2 that aren't used compared to these. So let's have a look, because the question is, are these carbon pads dirty or worn? Well, they're certainly dirty, so we'll get them apart in a moment, clean all that. Right, here's the joystick. Okay, well, that's good news. That's good news, because the joystick is intact, and again a bit dirty, but that's fine. Right, what do we know? All right then, so here's the very thin sort of stamped, this feels like steel plate. Doesn't look too deformed. I don't actually know exactly how this works. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's going to put pressure, going to put sort of counter pressure on the contact pads. When I say I don't know how it works, I'm just not sure how far bent these need to be. Again, going back to Astro Wars, anybody that's familiar with the insides of one of those, when you move the on-off switch, for example, sometimes that can take some wear, and you have to just bend the pins back a little bit to make sure they contact properly. And I'm not sure with this one whether perhaps it's just been some wear, or whether we just need to clean the contacts. So what I might just do first, I think, is just give everything a good clean, and then reassemble it and see if that's worked. If that doesn't fix it, then we might need to just make a few tweaks to the metalwork underneath. So first up, I think, the old alcohol trick, just to clean up the pads. Essentially, I think it's like carbon impregnation in here, which actually causes the circuit to close on the corresponding circuit board. So yeah, it looks like it might just be worn off there, you know. I wonder if sorry, there it is in frame. That pad looks a little bit worn. I don't know if that's actually the carbon surface has come off and it's not making a good surface, a good contact. So I'm going to clean these up. Don't know why I'm cleaning the other two. They don't actually get used. But I'll give the board a bit of a wipe while we're here. I suppose I could check for continuity across these two. I've got no reason to suspect that doesn't work. Right, bit of paper. I'm going to clean this out as well. So basically I'm just going to go around now and clean up all the different components and reassemble it and see if it works. I am just going to bend these pins out ever so slightly. Just in case. We'll just give some extra, just opened them up a tiny bit just to give it an extra bit of pressure. It may well be that we've lost the carbon contact, which would be a bit of a worry. Let's see what happens. We'll screw it back together. Right. Okay, so first thing, well, there's a bit more spring in that joystick, I've got to say. That's interesting. It's returning now, whereas before it wasn't. Now's the time to put our money where our mouth is with this adapter as well, isn't it? 6 volt positive DC this time. Saves us messing about with batteries, hopefully, if it reaches into there. Okay, here we go. Start. And yep, there we go. Right, left. So left, right, left. There we go. Perfect. Good stuff. So I'll just put the light back on. There we go then. So we've sorted that. The only thing it does need is a battery cover that we'll do at some point. So I think all that remains then is to give this a bit of a polish and just see if we can screw it back together and freshen it all up properly. Here it is then, the Galaxy Twinvader from CGL from the 1980s. Lovely looking unit, really quite quirky, angular. I love it. Not many of these about, so definitely worth fixing. Not too much wrong with it, to be honest, really. The joystick didn't work. There was no left or right. And fortunately, nothing was broken inside. So it was just a case of stripping down that joystick component, cleaning the parts, cleaning the contacts, bending the springs a little bit and getting it back into shape. And now I'm delighted to say it's working perfectly. giving it a bit of a clean as well. It will always be a bit yellow and discoloured because of the age, of course, but I have managed to at least polish the dryness out of the plastic and bring a nice sheen back to it. I'm still looking for a battery cover, so if anybody knows of one, let me know. Also, we have confirmed, of course, didn't we, that it was a positive tip 6-volt DC. So I'm actually doing that now, especially because we haven't got the battery cover. It's always useful to be able to run it off the mains. So let's just turn it on and see what happens. In fact, I'm going to turn the lights off so we can have a bit of a look and see what's what. There we go. So marvellous. Left works and right works. There we go. Sweet. So there we go. That's the Galaxy Twinvader all sorted, and yeah, a new lease of life. So well pleased with that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. I've got loads of games, 8-tracks, boomboxes, personal stereos, all kinds of retro tech on the channel, so please do check out the channel and consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell for updates. We've got loads of stuff coming through. Thanks again for your support. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.